One of the best ways to optimize your Amazon PPC campaigns is by leveraging the data generated by your auto campaign. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mine profitable data directly from your auto campaigns. And this valuable data will have keywords like negative keywords, product target ASINs, and as well as keywords that you can use for your manual campaigns. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. That way, as I give more tips like this, you'll get notified. So the reason why you'll want to get data directly from your auto campaigns is because you're getting information, you're getting valuable data directly from the Amazon marketplace. So it's one thing to get your information from a third-party software, which is also extremely valuable, but it's a whole other tool to your arsenal when you can actually extract the data that Amazon's providing you directly. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look back in the previous 30 days. If you haven't done this before, you can go back 60 days. So in this scenario, once you're logged into your campaign manager, you're going to go ahead and select date range and then just do the most recent available data that you have. So the very first thing you're going to want to do after you've reviewed your past 30 days worth of data, now you're going to go ahead and get that in a report. So you're going to go into your advertising reports through campaign manager, and then you're going to go through the past 30 days and you're going to go ahead and generate a report so that way you can begin looking through the data that we're about to go over. And when you're looking at the report, you can basically set it to the default settings. So the default settings are sponsored products, search term, which is exactly what you want, and then report period. You can do let's do the past, let's do from January up until today. Okay, and now you're going to go ahead and click now, not future, not recurring. You can set it up for recurring. This will actually make your life easier if you want to do it every 30 days. But for now, we're just going to do the now option, and then we're going to run the report. And finally, once you've generated the report, let's go ahead and download it. So it's just going to be the most recent one, and we're going to click on download here. Perfect. So now that you have your advertising reports loaded up on Excel, let's go ahead and filter through some of this data just so it's so much easier for you to make your optimizations. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to click at the very top where it says data, and then you're going to click on filter, and then you're going to go to option P right here, and at this drop down, all you're going to do is scroll to the very bottom and uncheck blanks. Basically, you don't want to see any keywords or product targets that don't have any clicks or impressions. You only want to see where there's some activity generated for your product. Now I've gone ahead and zoomed in for you so you can see that you're going to actually need to filter by the campaigns before you can get the accurate auto campaign data. So just where it says campaign name, which should be section E, just do the drop down there and uncheck all of the manual campaigns that you have active. So it should only show now all of the data for your auto campaign. And if you have several auto campaigns, just make sure that only the auto campaigns are checked, so we can now begin seeing what data we're going to use for the optimization process. Okay, so now that you've removed all the blanks, let's go ahead and organize it a little bit more just so you can now see the profitable data that we're looking for. And now that you've made sure that it's unchecked, let's go ahead and arrange by ascending. And so here's what you're going to look at. So one thing to keep in mind before I get into this is when I say create a manual campaign directly from the keyword data that you're pulling from the auto campaign reports, keep in mind the manual campaign is going to be 3 separate campaigns, and each separate campaign you're going to target each different match type. So you're going to target phrase match type, broad match type, and exact match type. So when you're creating a Google Doc and you're putting manual campaign keywords and you're copying them directly from your auto campaign reports, make sure that when you're creating the manual campaigns, each campaign has its own dedicated match type. You're going to have all of the same keywords in every single campaign. The only thing you're going to adjust is the match type. So don't forget to do that when you're actually creating the manual campaigns. And so here's what's really powerful about getting the data directly from the Amazon reports is that you can see right away what your profitability is going to be as opposed to doing blind keyword research ahead of time that might not necessarily be a better place to start. You can start with that, but if this is like your first month, it's best to just run an auto campaign and see what data comes back to you. But if you do want to speed up the process, you can always use third-party softwares for keyword research. So after looking at this data, you have your lowest ACoS all the way down to the highest ACoS. You can then begin adding these keywords to your manual campaign. So you'll just scroll to the left here. And actually one thing that's interesting to note is that you generally where you have the lowest ACoS, you're actually going to have the highest click-through rate. It means that your targeting is spot on. If every 2 impressions you got 1 click, that's a 50% click-through rate. 100% click-through rate, odds are the 100% and those really high click-through rates are going to have some of your best sales and some of your best ACoSs. So you would just scroll to the left, copy those keywords, and just paste them into a Google Doc, and you'll have your keywords every single month in that campaign. And what's really powerful about that is you're not adding, random keywords with a high ACoS. You already have it arranged with your lowest ACoS first, and you can begin making your way down, copying all those keywords, and then pasting them into manual campaigns because you already know you're doing extremely well on those. And so the default match type that Amazon has is actually broad. So the match type that you're going to be using by default here is broad. But if you're doing really well on the broad, it can pay if you have a really good ACoS. It can pay to actually also have those in an exact match campaign and also in a phrase match type campaign. And this is the exact process we do for all of our clients at Genrush. Every 30 days we're looking at the reports and we're getting the most valuable data that we can in order to continually produce profitable results for all of our clients month after month. This is exactly how we're doing some of the research through the auto reports. Now, here's a super tip for you. Apart from adding manual campaigns, manual keywords every single month, right? You're just copying them directly here, pasting them into a Google Doc, and from a Google Doc, just pasting them into the campaign manager. A super tip for you would be to make another separate campaign. All of the keywords in this campaign are going to be a broad match type, and you can call this campaign your all-star campaign. It's very similar to the diamond campaign. I do have a video. If you just go to my videos and type diamond keywords, you can actually see something very similar, but what makes this unique is that these are going to be your ultra profitable keyword placements, okay? So for the All-Star campaign, basically go to where you're making the most amount of money. Not just a good ACoS, but where you're actually making the most amount of money. So for example, these 5 don't even have a 1% ACoS, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would copy these 5 keywords, maybe 6, and you can see the ACoS is not even 1%. So we're doing, pretty decent there, and it can only continually get better. We have pretty low cost per click, so we'll continually get these these keywords, and paste them by themselves in a broad campaign because, again, that's the default match type that Amazon uses for the auto. These will be broad match type, and we'll just paste them in there, and we'll call it the All-Stars. And the reason why you're going to want to call this your All-Star campaign is because you can actually be more aggressive with the bids and the budgets in your All-Star campaign, because if your ACoS is extremely low, so in this example, we have an ACoS of not even 1%, we can afford to maybe double the budgets for this particular campaign as opposed to all of the other campaigns that we have. So if our average daily budget is $25, we would probably go with $50 in our All-Star campaign. And apart from increasing the budget, we'll also increase the bid. So typically, I suggest that you raise the bid about 30% above Amazon's suggested bid. And again, if you have an extremely low ACoS, you can even do 50 or 100% above Amazon's suggested bid. You can be extremely aggressive with your bid strategy, and you can be extremely aggressive with your budgets because you already know you're doing phenomenal on those keyword placements. So look through your own ad reports and see which keywords you're doing the absolute best on, and then copy those keywords, put them in an all-star campaign, and you can even on a Google Docs, apart from your manual PPC keywords, have another little section that says all-star keywords, and the all-star keywords you'll update every 30 days. And it'll probably be a continual batch of new keywords that you'll just continue adding to that campaign. And again, all the keywords in your All-Star campaign do have to be broad because that is the default match type that Amazon has. And that is a phenomenal tip for you because especially if you're just starting out and you're struggling with PPC, if you can just get the data directly from Amazon, look at your reports, see where you're already doing really well on, and then just building out a manual campaign that you could add more fuel to the fire, you're going to do extremely well. Now, the second most valuable piece of data that you can get directly from your auto campaign reports are competitors' ASINs. Now, the reason why this is so important for you to put into a manual campaign as a product targeting ad is because instead of doing, again, blind competitor research or even using Amazon's suggested product targets in your campaigns, if you're creating a product targeting ad, you're actually going to only use product ASINs that you're already converting really well on. And again, if you just add more fuel to the fire and just target more of these competitors, you're going to do extremely well because you're getting the data directly from your reports. You've already made the sales. You already know your ACoS is low. So just create a separate campaign that's a manual campaign. And where you're going to see your competitors' targets is you just scroll to the left, and instead of a keyword, it's just going to say something like B07. It's going to be a random string of letters, but it's usually going to start with the letter B and a 0 or something to that nature. And it'll be a random string of letters, and those are actually your competitors' listings. Now, here's what's very powerful about this particular strategy is that you're actually going to be funneling sales directly from your competitors' listings. And that's powerful for several reasons. One, you're actually stealing the sales from your competitors. So that means you're going to improve your keyword ranking faster, and you're actually going to decrease their keyword ranking over time because you're making those sales that they would have normally had gotten. But since you have a better deal, you're actually going to steal sales directly from your competitors. So you can actually do extremely high bids on your competitors' listings. So that way you can funnel 5 to 10% of their sales, which will be phenomenal for you because as the months go on and you add more of your competitors' ASINs in your product targeting ad campaign, again, on a Google Doc, just copy the ASINs, paste them in there every 30 days, and just up the bids 30%, raise the budgets because again, just apply the same philosophy that we just did with the keyword research, the same principles as, you have to have a low ACoS. If your ACoS is extremely high, then it doesn't make sense to put those ASINs. But if the ACoS is very low, then it does make sense because you're taking sales directly from your competitors. Now, the second sort of white hat trick to this optimization strategy is that apart from improving your rank, increasing your sales, and stealing sales from your competitors, if your competitors are paying for PPC, which I'm pretty sure they are, and you're stealing about 10% of their sales, you're actually saving that much more money in your own Amazon PPC campaigns because they're paying for the PPC traffic. But if you're converting on their listing, let's say 5 to 10% of the time, then they're actually paying for traffic to go to your listing. Now, wrap your head around that strategy for a second. As time goes on and you add more and more of these competitors, they're actually paying for you to get sales because they're paying PPC traffic. But if you're converting really well on their listing, customers that they're paying, cost per click on Amazon, the customers are going to funnel directly to your product. So apart from improving your rank and improving your sales, you're actually leveraging your competitors' wallets to improve your sales. And that's what makes this strategy extra powerful. And we do also offer this product targeting ad product to our customers at Zoners as well. And it's phenomenal and the results are amazing, especially as time goes on. You just build up that list and then you build up that momentum. Okay, so we've just gone over keyword targets and product targets. Now the third piece of valuable data that we're going to go ahead and analyze are keywords that we're going to use as negative keywords. Now negative keywords are just as important as the previous product and keyword targets because you're actually going to be able to mold your targeting much more in order to get a more refined output. So if you can alter and refine the input variables, you'll be able to get more profitable output variables. Okay, so you're actually steering Amazon and telling them what not to show your product on. So for example, if you're selling charcoal tooth powder, a good thing to add as a negative keyword would be toothpaste because it's similar but not exactly the same. One of the fastest ways to do this now would be to go back to the P section and go ahead and organize by descending now, or wherever that you see that you have the highest ACoS first, okay? So let's go ahead and close that out right there. And here you're going to see ACoS that's going to be above your break-even ACoS, and anything that's above your break-even ACoS would be a good keyword to add as a negative, both as an exact and as a phrase, okay? So this is the fastest way to do that, right? You'll just go ahead and go to the descending form, scroll to the left, you'll see the keywords there, copy them, and you can make a Google Docs to keep it super simple, and every month you can put negative keywords, and every month you can copy and paste keywords that you're going to put in the Google Docs, and then from Google Docs you can go to your campaigns and paste them in there as a negative exact and as a negative phrase match type for your negative keywords. And that's basically how you're going to optimize this month after month. Every month you'll just open up a Google Doc, copy and paste your all-stars, copy and paste the keywords that you're making money on, copy and paste the negative keywords, and copy and paste the product targeting ASINs in there. And every month you're going to go ahead and see that your momentum, your profitability is going to continue to grow, and you're going to continually get better and better results because you're actually using your auto campaign as the engine to run through all of this data for you and basically do all of the heavy lifting because Amazon's a huge marketplace, and the auto campaign is one of the easiest ways. If you don't have a lot of time to do a whole lot of research, it's one of the fastest and easiest ways to get data directly from the Amazon marketplace in order to optimize your Amazon PPC campaigns. This is the same optimization strategy that we use for our clients at ZonRush. And every 30 days, we not only use the auto campaign data that our campaigns are generating, but we also do use third-party softwares to find other keywords and other product placements that you can make the most amount of money. So we actually combine auto campaign data with our own independent research to make a super potent optimization strategy for all of our clients. Now, I will be releasing a new Amazon PPC optimization training very soon. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so that way you never miss a new and awesome Amazon PPC training like this. And if you want to speed up the entire Amazon PPC optimization process and do your own keyword research, then check out this next video coming up where I show you how to do your own keyword research to find the most profitable keywords to use in your manual campaigns, and it will save you a lot of time if you don't want to just rely on the auto campaign optimization process itself. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.